Hello, I'm Jim Lewis, president of the Lewis Institute, and I want to tell you how you can be successful. And the message in this presentation is, if I can do it, you can too. When I was born, my father, who's pictured in this photo, worked in a cotton mill in Mooresville, North Carolina. He earned a big $40 a week, $1 an hour, which was pretty much the standard minimum wage back then, and would be equivalent to about $300 a week today. That certainly is pretty close to the poverty level, both when I was a child and also today. But when I was about 12 years old, he found out about a training program offered through the Continuing Education Department of NC State University that taught people how to drive 18-wheelers, as we call them. And he went through that program and became a truck driver, and he drove trucks until he passed away when he was about 80. And he made a whole lot more money that way than he would ever have done had he stayed in the cotton mill. And perhaps that gave me the incentive to want to better myself when I became an adult. Ultimately, when I was about 14 years old, I became a ham radio operator. And because I didn't have a lot of money, I had to build most of my own equipment, and I talked to people all over the world on the equipment that I built, and my dream was to design communications equipment sometime. And I had no idea how you went about that, so I was talking to some friends when I was a senior in high school who told me that you studied electrical engineering, and I found out that I could borrow my way through school, and I applied for entrance into NC State University. Got my bachelor's in electrical engineering and did design communications equipment for 15 years. The unit that you see here was the last product that I was responsible for when I was working for ITT Mackey Marine. It's a very high-tech, or at that time it was very high-tech communications receiver for shipboard application. And it was really the culmination of my dream. In 1975, I decided to change my career. Went back to school at NC State, got a master's and then a PhD in psychology, and I taught seminars on project management, initially leadership skills, and I have done that since 1981, so for some 30 odd years I've been doing that. You'll see in this picture I'm teaching in Beijing, China some years ago. And I've taught in 30 countries around the world, and I've been around the world complete circle 2 times, which I guess is not too bad for an old country boy from a small town in North Carolina. And I've had a lot of fun doing it, and I've made a substantial amount of money. I'm not Bill Gates or Richard Branson or Steve Jobs. All of those people have made millions of dollars or even billions, and especially in the case of Richard Branson and Bill Gates. But I live a pretty successful lifestyle, and had I known all the success principles back in the early days, I might even have surpassed what I have done. But I'm not complaining. I've written 12 books on project management. I've got a lot of friends around the world, and I'm very excited about teaching these principles to you. So if you'll check out my training programs on my website, you'll find more about how to do this. So my message to you is, if I can do it, so can you. It requires desire, it requires dreaming, it requires determination. If you have the 3 Ds, you can be successful. Thanks a lot.